Hello, year four, and welcome to our final day of script writing. You, again, still blowing me away. Amazing work that you've done. I'm so proud of you. You're being patient with this work, you're being slow with this work. I think that thing number one for me is I've wondered if I could teach writing while not being with you in the classroom and actually helping you through this process. But I can see that you're all such wonderful writers. You're able to do this independently. So, congratulations and thank you so much for the hard work. Um, First, let's just take a look at what we've already done. Remember that we've already described our characters, we have already described our scenes, we've already done the dialogue for scene one and also scene two. And now we are on scene three. So we are doing the dialogue for when Chimwala meets the slavers. So I want to first start by showing you some good work. I want to show you the work of Robin and Robin. The reason I want to show you these two children's work is because they were able to take the text that's already there and they're able to make their own words out of it. So, yes, there's already dialogue within the story, but I'm going to push you just a little bit today. Can you take the dialogue in the story and make it your own? You know what I mean? Not just copy exactly what's there. So some of you are doing that, especially when you do the stage directions. That's a moment where you're often like saying that she says it quietly or she says it loudly or she shouts. So I'm seeing a lot of that there, but you can change the text, the dialogue just a little bit. As long as it makes sense, it could be your own words. So I wanted to start with, sorry, it has to load up. Okay, Robin and Robin. Just gonna load this one up. Loading up the work. All right. So see, the narrator in Robin's works comes in very quickly and just says, "So now it was time for everyone to say goodbye to Chimwala." And like he says, weeping, "I'll be okay. They will not come." So see, she doesn't say, "I'm going to wait for my ancestors." And that is an important part of the text. But you can see how this play would go a little bit differently because she says, "I'll be okay. They will not come." And the narrator says, "As they set off, all the children went to look for a place for them to stay." Abigail, "I found a river. I will test it to see if it is safe." So does she say that in the text? No. But is that what Robin chose for her to say? Yes. And that works. Let's take a look at the other Robin's work. So I really like how this starts out. One sunny day, a hot day, way hotter than usual, the villagers went into the forest, shaking off fear, not knowing what's ahead of them. Beautiful. Describes how hot it was, shaking off fear. And so Chimwala says gently, "I will stay here. I'll slow you down if I go with you. I will eat from my crops." So this explains everything that Chimwala said in in three sentences, but in one section. She talks about staying there. She talks about why she can't go, and she talks about what she's going to do if she stays. So that's really wonderful. And it says in a proud voice, Jamili says, "I'm so proud of you." Now, I want to point out something that Robin did that so many of you did, which is to use speech marks within this writing. No speech marks. This is literally what people are saying. So these boxes are to say that this character says this character says that. No speech marks. I probably commented that you put speech marks in if you look at yesterday's work. I most likely wrote, but don't use speech marks in your work if you use speech marks. But sorry, the reason I wanted to show you Robin and Robin's work is the way that they took the text and made it their own. So for some of you, I also left the comment that I could really hear your own voice in this work. And it's true. I can see, like, it's writing of a book that already exists, but also your own writing. So thank you so much. I want to challenge everyone else to try to do that. You can't go too far away from the text. It still has to be the story of when Chimwala meets the slavers, but you can also make it sound a little bit more like yourself. So let's take a look now at that book part. I've given you page 17 through the last page, which is 19. It's actually page 20, but I don't have page 20 here. So 17 through 20, not very many pages. The slavers come, they look for the people in the woods. They come back, they say they can't find them. So that's what that looks like. Let's go back to the slideshow. Here's an example. The narrator would say, the slavers did come to the village of Yao. And then you would start into what the slaver Chimwala said. You would, when doing dialogue, here's a little bit of dialogue from Chimwala. I am a soothsayer. I search for sacred herbs within these woods. I use these for my magic potions. An option of changing that a little bit is saying that she's not a soothsayer, but maybe you want to use the word witch instead. That's a way of changing a little bit, but still having the main idea there. Or you could say that she makes her magic potions. You could say that she casts her spell in these woods, things like that. That is similar, but a little bit more of your own work. All right, so that's some dialogue. And then next, stage directions. I've underlined whooping and hollering, firing shots. So that's something not that the narrator would say, because sometimes you guys are taking this work and saying that the narrator would say this. That's not really what the narrator would say. It would, in brackets, say, slavers enter whooping and hollering, firing shots. So that's something that you have to take those parts out and make them stage directions, not make them everything that the narrator says. The narrator just shouldn't have a whole paragraph to say. The narrator's just kind of setting up scenes for you. And then the actors do the acting. So you can imagine a bunch of a bunch of actors that are acting as the slavers come in and, woo, 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 and firing out shots. So, oh yeah, and then I also underlined, so when you're doing the dialogue for Chimwala, you want to say things for her as like sat calmly shelling beans, as I've underlined here. So do you see where it says sat calmly shelling beans? Your narrator's not going to tell us that she's doing that. You're going to say in brackets that where she's sitting, what she's doing, and then she will say something, to the slavers. So she'll say, I'm a soothsayer, whatever it is that she's saying. But you're also all doing really great work for that. Lastly, let me show you. This is just the sheet that you saw yesterday, but this is scene 3. You'll see that this has changed to scene 3. Do not forget, many of you did not fill in what characters are there. Please put the characters that are in this scene, okay? So especially in yesterday's work, some people changed it from villagers to saying elders, or said it elderly man, or all that. Those are characters that you need to also write in that you have included those characters. So if an example today, you say slaver 1, slaver 2, slaver 3, and they all have different parts they're speaking, then you need to put all of those characters in above here. So please go back to yesterday's work if you forgot to include the characters. And then I've only put in 2 boxes because you know how to do this work now. So you can keep filling it out. Again, great work. Great, great work. I'm so sad as a teacher not to be in the classroom with you, and worried as a teacher that I can't be there to support you while you're doing this work. But I'm also so happy and proud as a teacher because I see that you can do this work. You're really good at this work. And so continue this great work. Don't give up. You're so close. There's not that many pages. Not that much dialogue left. Not that much to do. And then you can wrap it up and have the narrator say this last part, which is the storyteller's part. That is it for our lesson, right? So I've shown you that. I'll change this slide to say complete scene 3, and I'll put in a picture of this work, just like yesterday. And that's it. Okay. So good luck with that work.